initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. Down the right sideline. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Up the middle, Achane. It still won't go down. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that
and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. James Cook, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set to kick off. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. 26-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll work inside here, Hampton. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Call it an 8-yard pickup, but it'll be 3rd down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Let's go, let's go. Go.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Quentin Johnston, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are once again back in front. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is now 10-7. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
In motion right here comes Johnson. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Intercepted. The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there in the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save?
Yes.
That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Hampton. down the sideline he goes. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So it's 3rd and 1. The defense, they stack the box, and that's the problem. You break through that first level, there's no second level.
And most good running teams work against stacked defenses. They don't care if you have 6 in the box, 7 in the box, 8 in the box. It doesn't matter to them. Block people, give your running back a chance, because it could pay off big as it just did there.
Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
17. Dolphins 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go now.
H-in here. They stay on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. He'll try and do this himself. That is caught. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A run straight ahead with H-in. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup.
Looking to throw. They set up the screen. H-in has it. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 89 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now back to throw. What a reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Back to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Achane fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
At the 2-yard line.
Achane is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw here. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this 1st half. weeks, you're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
From the 25, here's a second down and 9. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Achane gets it from the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At the 36-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3.
6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. On the handoff, it's Achane. And shedding a man at the 40. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 105 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They'll give this to Etienne. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mucked that down for a win in the defense's column.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Right back to Etienne on 2nd down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
Cowboy 80. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They'll go. Etienne. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They'll run. Etienne. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal.
Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Chargers 17. Evan McPherson set to kick off.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Damn, I miss you, Chester. Singing love from my bass compressor. Ground control with a soul like Bowie, and I'll chop you up if I'm under pressure. I don't really want to brag. I'm just telling that I'm leaving with a bag.
The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back. through the middle of the field. Touchdown, LA! Keandre Lambert-Smith, halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Chargers have retaken a third-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that gives them a 3-point lead.
24, Dolphins 21.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago the touchdown that puts them looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. That offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here and climb back into this game in the third quarter. Instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick six.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person just ended up in the end zone with the football. He was the one that answered the bell.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Running right, here's Achane. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Here's Achane. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down. Right
back to Achane on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Again, it's Achane. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Left side, Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Let's go now. 18, Cardinal, 18, go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete.
A nice throw there by the young rookie from Penn State, and it's a 1st down.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup at 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. At the
They'll drop the throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Wright is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Play action. It's Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Herbert going to give to Hampton. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now it's Herbert. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. To the left side, he's got McConkey. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Set. Ready.
On the handoff, it's Hampton. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Herbert. Touchdown! Quentin Johnston. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point try now from Dicker. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Chargers 38, Dolphins 28.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. This is first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Kappa. Set.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.
Go, go, go.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Chargers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.